All right, in our first example, we have a circle over here. We can see it looks like it's right on a coordinate axes where you have your x and your y axis. So we want to think about it in those terms. You can see the center of the circle is at the origin, and then they told us that this length from here to here is 10. So that would be the radius of our circle. So we want to make sure that we are clear on what they're asking us. If you notice, A and B seem very similar. It says find the measure of arc AB, find the length of arc AB. So when it says find the measure of arc AB, and they may write it this way, the measure, because we've seen that before, they might abbreviate that. What we want to remember is that that means how many degrees. So we're looking for that degree answer that we've been using so much this chapter. So if we look at our circle, the B probably should be a little bit lower right there. We're talking about from A to B, here's arc AB. Well, because this is in a coordinate plane, I know that if I go all the way over to here, that's 180, and so this is half of that, so we are looking at 90 degrees. That's the measure of the arc. And it's the degree measure of the arc. Sometimes they're that specific with how they say it. All right, so part B, when it says to find the length of AB, that is arc length. That's what we have a formula for. So there's two things you need to know for arc length. One is the measure of the arc, so we were just abbreviating that with an M. So we know that that's 90. And then the other one is the diameter of your circle. Well, we can see that the radius is 10, so we're going to double that to get a diameter of 20. All right, so now we're able to use our formula. Arc length is equal to, it starts out with the measure over 360, so we're going to take 90 over 360, and this gets multiplied by pi times your diameter, and our diameter is 20. All right, so when we multiply these out, I'm going to have to kind of write this down here. What we're first going to do is reduce the degree measure over the 360. So 90 over 360, you guys see those zeros on the ends? Those cancel each other out. It's basically like dividing by 10, leaving us with 9 over 36. Now 9 over 36 will reduce to a 1 over 4, and then pi times 20. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and multiply the 1/4 times 20. If it helps to see it as a 20 over 1, and then just know that we are multiplying the top numbers, 1 times 20 over 4 times 1, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. And then that pi is going to stay with our answer. So the arc length is equal to 5 pi. If it says to round to some degree, or decimal, like round to the nearest tenth or hundredth, then we would go ahead and multiply out the 5 times pi. If it does not tell you what to round to, let's go ahead and leave the pi in your answer. That is a more exact answer, and a lot of times that's what they want from us, so we'll just have to make sure we're either defaulting to the 5 pi or rounding to some specific value if that's what they ask for. All right, now find the area sector of ACB. So that is going to be the area sector, or the area of the sector, yeah. We want to know what the area of this whole thing is. So we need the same information. We need to know that the measure of the arc is 90 degrees and that the diameter is 20. And now we're going to the area of the sector. Remember just the formula from right above from the intro video. We take the 90 over 360, so the measure of the arc over 360, times pi times your diameter, which is 20. All right, well, kind of nice that we already did the math before. We know that 90 over 360 reduces to 1/4 times, did you guys catch my mistake already? So because this is the area of the circle, we want to use the area of a circle right there. So that's going to be pi times your diameter, or your radius, sorry, radius is 10 squared. So over here, let's go ahead and label radius is 10, because that's what we're going to use. So I apologize, this one got a little bit sloppy. All right, so back to we have 1/4 times pi times 10 squared is 100. And then we'll go ahead and multiply 1/4 times 100. Again, if it helps to put it over 1, multiply the top numbers, multiply the bottom numbers. 100 divided by 4 is 25, and then the pi stays in our answer. It does not tell us what to round to, so we will leave it as 25 pi.